everybody. Welcome to another episode of Friends Talking Nerdy. This is Tim Jousma, and on the line we've got...
Me! Hey, it's Morah.
Yay, from New York City.
I know no one's going to be me. Who the hell's me?
Yes. Yeah. Anyway, so today we are going... You don't need to apologize. Jeez, I'm bringing the bad jokes here. Anyway, so today we are going to be talking about 80s television shows, but before we do that, I want to talk about a little picture I came across. Morah, do you want to tell everybody what that picture was?
No, I was young. I needed the money. But
No?
I don't know what picture you're talking about now. Yeah, thanks, Tim, for stalking me. The picture is from... It was in Billboard magazine, and that was back in the heyday when I worked at a radio station, and there was a picture. I did an event with Comedy Central, and it was with Motorhead, and it was a picture with me, a coworker, Tara Jackson, may she rest in peace, and the singer from Motorhead, Lemmy, who also may he rest in peace.
Yeah, I saw that picture and I was like, what type of life has she led that's not something that you would start off with when you first meet people? So what was it like meeting Lemmy?
So that was, okay, it's an interesting story. So it was at this bar down in the village, which... My God, they had so many different transitions. I want to say it was a Cafe Wa was the name of the place. I don't remember. Anyways, it was a promotion. It was with Comedy Central. They were promoting the British TV show Young Ones, and Lemmy was very involved with that. So we were performing it. They were doing a little cool mini intimate concert because the venue wasn't that big at all, which was awesome. So my coworker and I, Tara, we got there early to set up, to go to the venue, to set everything up, and Lemmy just happened to be there. So at first we're like, I didn't want to bother him because they were doing their own thing, and Tara and I were kind of by the doors. We were getting ready to leave, and Lemmy comes up and starts talking to us. And I'm like, holy crap, this is cool. And at the same time, I'm like, holy crap, I don't understand a damn word this man is saying to me. And yeah, because his accent's really, really thick. So if anybody has seen an interview with him, you know what I'm talking about. And he seemed really nice. And at the same time, I feel like we talked just for a few minutes, and I was, and I introduced us, and I was like, yeah, we're working, we'll see you guys, we'll see you tonight. And it was just a little bit uncomfortable because I feel like he was asking me something and I didn't quite answer him correctly. And at the same time, like once he left, I turned to my coworker and I'm like, was it my imagination or was he hitting on me? And she was like, no, he was hitting on you. I'm like, oh, awesome. So I was like, okay, great.
So you spurned the advances of Lemmy Kilmister from Motorhead. That is amazing. In
a very roundabout way. It had to have been in a very roundabout way, because I'm sure he probably said something, and I'd be like, okay, well, great, I'll see you tonight, or something, I don't know. But here's the thing. So later on that night, so now it's time the event, and we're backstage, and I'm talking with the guy from Comedy Central, and we're chit-chatting, and we see Lemmy walk in, and in total rock star, typical godlike rock star, he has a beer and a cigarette in one hand and two girls in the other. And,
oh, man.
and it was funny.
That could have been you.
And the Comedy Central guy, yeah, right. And the Comedy Central guy, he was like, oh, he said something pretty low, but I heard it. He was like, oh, thank God, okay, good. I don't have to take care of that. And I'm like, what are you talking about? So supposedly this, there was an understanding. It was not in the contract, but there was an understanding that he might have to provide not entertainment, but company, if you know what I mean, for Lemmy. But no, it's like he's fine on, and like he figured it's like he'd be fine on his own, but like once he saw it's like, okay, he's good, it's like great, he can relax and enjoy the rest of the night. So I thought that was funny.
Oh my. Well, folks,
so
you can,
that is the story.
You can all thank my low-level stalking for that amazing story right there.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Anyway, so 1980s television. Barely remember the 70s. The Great Awakening for me was the 80s, and I think the 80s was definitely a transformative time in entertainment. And there were a lot of great TV shows. So I spoke with Morah previously, and we thought we would kind of get our heads together and think about some of our favorite shows and talk about them. So,
well, here's just a quick thing, and I realize this, and this is what's kind of going to depress me, is the fact that I'm sure most of people we know probably weren't even born in the 80s. So I don't even want to think about that. But anyways, we originally did discuss about doing a top 10, but I did tell Tim, it's like, yeah, I can't narrow it down to 10. There's just no way. So we're just going to talk about TV shows.
Yeah, I mean, my list is close to 20, so... we'll leave it at that. I'll start off. I think that what we'll do is do a back and forth. I'll start with a TV show, talk about that, and then you go with the TV show, and then we'll go. So we'll start off with a show that debuted in 1980 called Magnum P.I. With Tom Selleck about a detective who lives in a mansion that is owned by a mysterious author by the name of Robin Masters, and he lives in Hawaii, and with his friends Rick and TC,
Hawaii.
Yeah, he solves crimes and gets the ladies. What do you remember about that show?
Of course he does. He had the mustache. It was all about the mustache
and the tiger's hat.
Like that was. I just remember the mustache. I never quite got into that series. I know it was definitely because I had my other shows, and I'm pretty sure it conflicted with some other show that I always wanted to watch. That's probably why I never got into it. That's all I really kind of remember about it. But I know it was great, and it definitely had a good run.
Yeah, I mean,
it definitely made his career.
Which is sad, too, because the story is he had the role of Indiana Jones, but thanks to signing up for Magnum P.I. first, he had to bow out of that. The sad part about that is the first season of Magnum P.I. was delayed due to a writer's strike in 1980. He was stationed in Hawaii waiting for the strike to end so he could resume filming. And guess where Raiders of the Lost Ark was filmed at that same time? Hawaii. He lost out on the movie role of a lifetime. Yeah, and if there's any other actor from that era that could have tackled Indiana Jones just as well as Harrison Ford did, I think Tom Selleck would have been the choice. That would have been interesting to see.
That really would have been interesting to see.
Yeah, because if you look at some of the documentaries on the DVDs, they actually have some test footage with Selleck, with what's her name, Karen.
Alan.
Karen Allen, yeah. They have some screen tests that they did together, and those screen tests were amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
That would have been cool. All right.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't meant to be.
Yeah. But, I mean, but having said that, I mean, the fact that people still associate him with Magnum P.I., I mean, that if anybody's going to have a consolation prize, that's one hell of a consolation prize. And if you're going to check out one episode of the series, there was a two-parter. I forgot the specific year, but a two-parter that Frank Sinatra guest starred in. It's one hell of a two-parter there. Sinatra played an old, bitter detective, and I mean, Frank Sinatra is one of my favorite actors. If you get a chance, you should watch the John Frankenheimer movie from '62, The Manchurian Candidate, with Angela Lansbury at her diabolical best. Man, have you seen that movie?
I didn't see it. I didn't see the original. I saw the remake
with Denzel,
Meryl Streep, and
yeah. Well, Angela Lansbury was. Angela Lansbury was.
Was Meryl Streep in it? Yeah.
Yeah, she was. She was.
But yeah, it's a good movie.
But the original blows that out of the water. That's your homework. Watch that movie.
It's a great movie.
Yeah. All right. So your first show.
All right. Oh God, where to begin? Ugh. Okay. So some of my shows are on the cheesy side, of course. Well, now it is. Back in the day, it's like, oh, it's so cool, and now it's like, looking back, I'm like, wow, I actually watched that. Let's start with. I'm going to start with, since October, Halloween is coming up, I'm going to start with something on the scary side. Well, back in the day for me, it was scary as being a young kid. And this show was on late at night, I believe on Saturdays. So I would stay up late. God, I don't know why it was up on late, but my parents let me just so I can watch this. And it was Tales from the Dark Side.
In the sunlit world of what he believes to be reality. But there is, unseen by most, an underworld, a place that is just as real, but not as brightly lit. A dark side.
Oh, that was on my list too. I love that show.
Yeah, I loved it. So, yeah, I was definitely a big fan of that. I think I saw just about every episode. And even at the beginning it was like so creepy. It's like, it was just awesome.
Yeah, my favorite.
There's really nothing. I'm sorry. There was really nothing else like that around the time that was on TV.
Every now and then there were. I know around that time as well, CBS brought back the Twilight Zone for a couple of years, and it had some good episodes there. And then you had...
That's on my list. Hold on. That's on my list too. But I'm just saying, like, Tales from the Dark Side was a little bit more on the creepy side, like Tales from the Crypt. But Tales from the Crypt didn't come out till later. Yeah. So I'm just saying, for something along those lines. So yes, Tales from the Dark Side took a little bit of Tales from the Crypt and Twilight Zone, kind of with a mix of that, but I don't know. I'm just saying it was kind of cool.
Yeah, I remember.
But your favorite episode, you were saying? Yeah,
my favorite episode was one called "It All Comes Out in the Wash," and it frightened me as a kid. The star of the episode was an actor by the name of James Hong. And if I had to describe him, I can guarantee you've seen him in film. If there was on a Hollywood casting director's desk, they needed a part for a generic Asian older man, they called James Hong. And he scared me in that episode, and I ended up having nightmares.
What was it about? I don't remember. I don't remember them, but like I remember some of them.
Yeah, it was about a real estate developer that tries to take over Chinese laundry, but I'm sort of cheating here. I do got the IMDb page up about that episode, but the owner of the Chinese laundry, the character that James Hong plays by the name of Chao Ting, entices him to take advantage of a special service they offer, which is washing away a person's sins. And just the episode was real creepy. I mean, memorable, obviously, if I'm still talking about it today.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's funny. The problem that I have is that, so I get confused because there was the Twilight Zone, Tales from the Dark Side, what was it? There was like Amazing Stories or something like that. Like, then Spielberg did something.
Yeah, that was on NBC for a couple of years.
Yeah, like there were like so many of these like really weird, twisted episodes that like I can't remember which one was from which. Mm-hmm. So like it was always very interesting. Like I don't know. Like if I talk about an episode, it'll probably be like, oh no, that was a Twilight Zone episode. Like so I don't want to stay with any episodes.
Right.
Like I know, like I stayed up. Like when I picked this list, like the shows on the list, I really went by more of what as a child, what like. I made sure I always watched.
Right.
Like, I couldn't wait to see the next episode and that, like, I would be around. And also, you got to remember, this is before the days of DVR or even VCR. So.
Yeah, the rich kids had those.
At some point, the beta. We had the Betamax, I think we had. And then the VHS, I think we had. But I don't remember. That was, like, later on in the 80s.
Yeah.
Anyways, dating myself. So
well, it's not like
right, so,
I'm not coming across as a young whippersnapper here myself. So anyway,
no, shut up.
I know. The next one on the list for me was from 1981. I've talked about it on the show before, and that is Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends.
Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, Iceman and Firestar. Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends.
Loved it.
Yeah, that really was.
Loved all of that. It's like.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of the introductions to the Marvel Universe for me. I mean, that and the Incredible Hulk from the 70s.
Yeah, I loved it. You had like the Justice League. You had Spider-Man. Because like that was the thing in Saturday morning, the cartoons, and I think you and Noel even discussed something like that, where it's like Saturday mornings are not the same anymore. There was like I remember a whole thing of cartoons in the morning, which was awesome. You had there was like they even had Dungeons and Dragons, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that was one show. Cartoon. I mean, you had shows like the Smurfs, of course. You had the Care Bears, Strawberry Shortcake.
Well, was that all in the 80s? I thought that was either later in the 80s or 90s.
No, that was the 80s.
Okay. All right. I remember there was Pac-Man. That was big.
Or the Mr. T cartoon, or in the 80s, and it started in the 70s as well, but they would have cartoons of popular sitcoms. So they would have Fonz and the Happy Days Gang. Remember that one?
Oh my God, yeah. That's funny.
Or the Mr. T cartoon, and my mother thought I liked that cartoon so much that when she saw Mr. T cereal at the store, she had to get it for me.
I didn't even know he had cereal. That is funny.
Yeah.
Did not know. Yeah, but no, I'm actually trying to like search like what because I know there's more, and there's something it's on the tip of my tongue, and I can't remember what the hell the name of it. Like I'm envisioning the characters, but I cannot for the life of me remember what the hell it's called.
Well, describe.
Oh well, I can't even describe it.
Okay.
But there was we forgot to mention G.I. Joe.
And knowing's half the battle.
I love G.I.
Joe.
Go Joe.
Yeah, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. That's when they just stopped caring about trying to actually make stories, and they just turned it into a half-hour cartoon. But the funny thing is, shows like that, He-Man, was where writers and directors like J. Michael Straczynski, who came up with Babylon 5 and was the main director for the Netflix show Sense8, that's where they got their start. So even though those shows did not age well, they had a lot of talent behind the scenes that that helped bring those shows to life.
Okay.
And I bored Morah to death.
God, you go so deep into it. No, because I'm looking at the list. I found this website where it's like you're talking, oh my God, Plastic Man. I watched Plastic Man. There's, I'm just loving this. I'm sorry. So you have Super Friends. You had Scooby-Doo. I completely forgot to mention Scooby-Doo. God. I never got into Fat Albert.
I did. I love that show. And we'll talk, and might as well bring it up now since you mentioned that, but another one on my list was going to be The Cosby Show, and I know today because...
Hold on, wait.
Yep.
We'll talk about Cosby in a second. I'm sorry, because I'm going through, I got to just mention all this list of cartoons since we're on this topic. So you have Richie Rich. They had Heathcliff, which my friend loved. I never got into it. There's some other stuff here. I don't even remember what the hell they were called. I'm like, what?
Well,
I don't even remember this.
Yeah, Heathcliff used to be on Nickelodeon back in the days. I don't remember it on like any of the three main networks.
No, Heathcliff was on ABC.
I'm not saying it wasn't. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I remember it. That I remember. Flintstones, of course. Smurfs, you mentioned. Spider-Man and his amazing friends. Fonz.
Hey.
Jeez. They even have a Laverne. I don't remember a cartoon of Laverne and Shirley, but
yeah, I remember that.
Okay, Dungeons and Dragons. There, I actually liked that one. It was interesting because, it was cute. I don't know. Because at the time I didn't remember coming across anything that would be like magic,
Right.
It's not like I grew up with Harry Potter, so that was kind of cool. Muppet Babies. Oh God.
Oh.
1984.
Another one on my list.
Muppet Babies, we make our dreams come true. Muppet Babies, we'll do the same for you.
When your room looks kind of weird and you wish that you weren't there.
Just close your eyes and make believe, and you can be anywhere.
I like adventure.
I like romance.
I love great jokes.
I'm a mobile.
I've got my computer.
I can do that.
I'll play the piano.
Is everything all right in here?
Yes, Nanny.
and that right there, I mean, that's probably one of the first examples that I remember of a show that really celebrated cosplay. It really celebrated immersing yourself in worlds that you grew up in. I mean, it's never going to be out on DVD due to licensing, because they would insert the characters in just in regular movies. So you would see, like Kermit in a TIE fighter in Star Wars or something like that, which weird image, but it really did, celebrate the positives that you can get from, television, from the movies, and just, enjoying those worlds.
Well, here's the thing. I grew up watching the Muppets, which I absolutely loved. So when Muppet Babies came out, like, it was cute, it was a different take on them, but for me, the appeal, the trick, what's the word I'm looking for? The shtick of it, I kind of got sick of it pretty quickly.
Right.
So I didn't stick with it for as long as I, could have, because it was just getting a little too geeky. Mm-hmm. But, and like I said, for me who grew up on the Muppets itself, and it's like, okay, now I'm seeing a baby version of this. It's like, okay, it was cute. We're done. Let's move on.
And I'm right with you. I mean, I do feel that obviously the Muppet Show was the far superior show. And, the Muppet movie is an absolute classic. I mean, Rainbow Connection is one of my all-time favorite songs from that. But Muppet Babies was on my list. I love that show.
That's good. Okay, so now, I'm coming across some other stuff, but I don't, like Pee-wee Playhouse. I never got into Pee-wee.
Oh, I did for a bit and suffered socially because of it. Now I watch it and it's just too far out for me. But basically, Paul Reubens, Pee Wee Herman, asked permission from Andy Kaufman to do that character, because Andy Kaufman was actually the first one to do a spoof of kids shows. It's just Paul Reubens essentially made it into an actual kid show, whereas Andy Kaufman was essentially goofing on it. If you go to Netflix or buy it, Andy Kaufman did this amazing special on ABC where it was essentially a kid show, but there would be little things like he would have somebody singing, but the camera would be focused on the person singing, but you would still see Andy in the background and he's arguing with one of his assistants, but then the moment he sees that the camera's on him, he turns and smiles and pretends to dance and just
God. Okay.
Oh, and they had this great and they had this great bit too. When I first saw it, it was I bought a video tape copy of it, again aging myself, when the movie Man on the Moon came out, and I popped it in my VCR, and about halfway through the show, he did this brilliant thing where he screws with the audience by essentially fooling the audience into thinking that there's something wrong with their TV. And he got me. That's
interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so if you get a chance, do a YouTube search and check it out. I mean, Andy Kaufman was a comedic genius, and you will not be disappointed. He's what Paul Reubens wanted to be.
That's somebody else I just never really got into either. Just like his humor, like it was always hit or miss, but for me it was mostly miss.
Yeah.
And I know it's sorry, whoever hears that, I know I'm disappointing everyone. It's like, really? Yeah, it just didn't speak to me.
Well, those people can suck it because you got hit on by Lemmy, right?
At least that's what it felt like, and even my friends did that, so that was funny.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about Cosby.
Okay, the Cosby Show.
It's kind of hard to talk about it because of everything that's going on now.
But
let's not talk about it.
But you can't make that mistake, though. I mean, because I actually had this. Somebody went on my website and read an old review I did of a Black Widow comic from the 60s, and I spent most of the article talking about how Just it just felt like that they were pushing her to the side and weren't making her focus and just talking about how I viewed her today. And the person who left a comment on my website, I'm glad they did. Just, gave me another way to think about it. And it was thinking about what that character was like at that time. You can't make the mistake of equating today's values, today's whatever, on something that came out years ago. And I think what I mean by that when it comes to the Cosby Show is this. Cosby deserves to be shunned. He deserves to be in jail. He deserves to have the book thrown at him for what he did. But with the Cosby Show, with Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids, with everything that he did in his career in front of the camera, he did do a lot of good. And I think that cannot be...
Oh, no, and I won't argue on that. Oh, no, you're definitely right. I mean, between the family values and the fact that it's like, to have a black family at the time to be as popular as it did, a black family TV show to be as popular as it did back at that time. Like, yeah, no, he totally broke barriers, which was awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, and I shouldn't say that because there was Good Times, which was also amazing, but the dynamics on that show was totally different. I would definitely say different than Cosby Show. And they also did tackle some topics that were, they did, I can't remember, but they did tackle topics I think teenage pregnancy, I think they had one time.
Which would make sense because...
I can't remember.
I mean, I don't recall the specific episode, but Cliff Huxtable was a gynecologist. So, which in hindsight, a little weird, but I mean,
Oh, God, let's not go there.
Yeah.
We will not go there. Yeah, but so my next show. So I'll move forward and talk about my next show, which was also kind of in the alien sci-fi genre, and that would be V. And that would be the original with Mark Singer, not freaking remake that they did that I think I watched 2 episodes and then I was done. And Robert Englund, I can't never pronounce his name. Robert Englund?
England,
thank you. Freddy Krueger. Yes, he was in that. Loved him. And that was also, I felt like another show at the time. There really wasn't anything quite like it. I mean, it was awesome. It's like thinking back, it was truly a soap opera that was done with aliens. It was great. I loved it. And I wasn't into soap opera.
Yeah,
so, that was cool.
I never watched that show.
Really?
Really?
It was fun. I haven't watched it since, like it went off the air. I have a feeling it's one of those, like, if I go back and watch it again, I'll probably be like, man, I must have been stoned when I watched this. So I don't know. I don't want to recommend, hey, yeah, you got to go watch this. But if you grew up watching it as a kid and at the time, because, now I feel like we have so many shows in the same area that is comparable, you know? Like right now, you have Gifted and you have Inhumans, you have, you know, Agents of Marvel. You have like all these, like, they're all like in the same, you know, genre boat. Whereas back then, you know, how many TV shows were there where that was like you know, and I remember it's like everybody flipping out the first time where it's like, because the aliens came down, they look like humans. And I remember, you know, but nothing really quite seemed right. And then finally, like, you saw the episode where it's like they're peeling off their skin and they're actually like lizards. And I remember everybody the next day at school and everybody talking on the news like, "Oh my God, did you see that?"
Oh man.
So.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah, it was very cool.
Yeah, I mean, going through my list, I mean, I've did see a pattern of shows in the 80s that the premise was amazing, but it just came out in the wrong era. Like, you know, I'm sure V would be one of those that if they took and just took the scripts from the original and filmed them today, it might get a better reception. Another show on my list, the A-Team.
10 years ago, a crack commando unit was sent to prison by a military court for a crime they didn't commit. These men promptly escaped from maximum security stockade to the Los Angeles underground. Today, still wanted by the government, they survive as soldiers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire the A-Team.
Great premise.
Yep, that's on my list too.
Yeah, I mean, great premise. It did have some good actors on the show, like George Papard, but you watch that show today, and it's like what you're listening to nails on a chalkboard, and I just can't get through it apart from the amazing theme song.
Yeah, but it was still good. But you know what? The same thing could be said for Knight Rider.
A shadowy flight into the dangerous world of a man who does not exist. Michael Knight, a young loner on a crusade to champion the cause of the innocent, the helpless, the powerless, in a world of criminals who operate above the law.
That was also one of my favorite shows. That's on my list.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and again, another theme song. And the A-Team and Knight Rider were both produced by Stephen J. Cannell, who pretty much made half of the TV shows in the 80s.
That's cool. I did not know that.
Yeah, he...
you know all the background stuff. I just didn't care.
I just watched the shows, Tim. It's funny on for all his the little production thing they have at the end where they're produced by. His thing was he'd be writing at a typewriter, pulls a page out of the typewriter, throws it in the air, and then it turns into an F.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's one of those I never paid attention to the name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same thing with what was it, like Bad Hat Productions, where at the end of the TV show, it'd be like a little cartoon thing, and it'd be like, that's one Bad Hat Harry.
Yep. From
Remember
Bryan
that?
Singer.
And huh?
That's Bryan Singer's production company.
Do you know where that line comes from?
I do not know.
So it's funny. I never knew either, and it just happened one night. I just happened to be watching Jaws, and there's one scene where they're on the beach, and one of the characters says it to another one, saying, "Hey, that's Bad Hat Harry," and I'm like, "Oh my god!" So obviously there's some connection there. I never made it. I'm sure I can look it up, but at least I know where that line comes from now.
Right.
So that's from Jaws.
One of the best movies ever made. All right, so my turn. The next one on my list, Late Night with David Letterman.
From New York, home of the Hair Club for Men, it's Late Night with David Letterman. Tonight, Candice Bergen. From Saturday Night Live, John Lovitz. Musician, Boz Skaggs. And Albert DeForest's Pan American Goodwill Tour update. Plus, Paul Schaefer and the world's most dangerous band. And now, Peter Allen's understudy in Legs Diamond, David Letterman.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I love the enthusiasm.
That's another show. I didn't get into it. I was a Johnny Carson fan.
Oh, I love Carson too. And I mean, the only reason Carson's not on the list because, you know, we're talking about shows that came from the 80s. But just Letterman.
I know.
Yeah, I
know.
Letterman, just the sarcasm, the silly bits that he did. And I'm always partial too because in the 90s when he moved over to CBS, you know, every episode they would have the top 10 list. And for a while, the home office, they would say that the tonight's top 10 list from the home office and in my hometown, Grand Rapids, Michigan, was one of the home offices for a while.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Great, Tim. Bye. No.
I feel...
I'm kidding.
Why? I don't know. I can't really, say anything to the show as I really didn't watch it. The only thing I can say, I know he was beloved by a lot and that he definitely got hosed where, they kept passing on him to take over the Tonight Show, and that's something he definitely made it clear he wanted, but for whatever reason, it just never happened. And what's sad is that didn't he get screwed over by some deal? Oh no, that was the other guy. That was
Conan.
Leno.
Yeah, well,
Leno.
Leno played politics during his entire run at NBC. He, thanks to his manager at the time, he did screw Letterman out of the Tonight Show spot. Letterman was supposed to get that. And then when Conan took over the Tonight Show and NBC had that stupid idea of having the Jay Leno Show every night at 10 o'clock and it tanked in the ratings, again,
right.
Politics at hand, he had to go back and take over that show.
Right, but no, but that's what I'm saying. It's like, I'm counting. So who was it that was the thing? Like who, where it's like, yeah, they moved him, then they moved him back, but then there was a contract thing. I don't know. I don't remember. I just remember it being kind of really screwed up.
I think what it was is that Conan did not have a proviso in his contract stating that his version of the Tonight Show had to start at 11:35 each night. So NBC, in order to placate Jay Leno, tried to move the Tonight Show to 12:05. Which, why have a show called the Tonight Show start during the morning?
But I thought David Letterman also got screwed somewhere along that way.
Not during.
They promised move him over or something. Didn't he have to Was it him that he was still in contract, but they weren't having him do any more shows? There was something. Or was that Leno? Am I getting confused?
No, well, I mean, with when Letterman was at NBC, again, he just tried to lobby for the Tonight Show, but ultimately didn't get it and went to CBS. In 2010, when the whole Conan O'Brien thing hit, all David Letterman did was just goof on Jay Leno every night, and then he did that stupid. He did that stupid Super Bowl ad with Oprah and Jay Leno, which was the first time that Letterman and Leno were in the same room for years, and it was just like, stop! No, I don't want to see that.
God, I don't remember that. That's funny, though.
Yeah, it was gross and opportunistic, and just Jay Leno can die in a fire for all I care.
All right. Anyways, moving forward.
A little more positivity.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to actually mention two because they're back to back, because I remember, if I remember this correctly, these two shows were on Saturday night, one after the other. So, and I loved watching it. It was just awesome. So the first one that came on would be Love Boat.
That was from the 70s.
Love Boat.
That was from the 70s, though. I watched the Love Boat. Good show.
No, it wasn't. It was in the 80s.
It was on during the 80s, but it started in the 70s.
Hold on. Now you got to make me... Really? You're going to make me look? Love Boat. This aired at... Bear with me while my service is... The Love Boat. We'll just sing it while we wait. Oh. Damn it. How come originally when I looked it up, it said in the 80s? That was weird. Yeah, it started in 1977. Okay, sorry. And that probably rules out the next show, which is Fantasy Island.
Yeah, same scenario. I think the best episodes, I mean, it was on during the 80s because Ricardo Montalban filmed Star Trek The Wrath of Khan during the off-season of Fantasy Island.
I love Ricardo. He was awesome.
Oh, a great actor. And I mean, recently they had the 35th anniversary of the Wrath of Khan, and they re-released it in theaters. And watching for the first time the Wrath of Khan on the big screen and just seeing him chew the scenery alive.
I'm sorry. Hold on, please. Hold on.
Yep.
No, that's fine. Thank you. Yeah. Sorry, I'm in my car. And, yeah, this is the only place I could sit and talk and not be bothered. But obviously, that's not the case.
Are you okay, ma'am?
No, he asked if he could park there.
Oh,
yeah. I guess he couldn't read the sign. It's fine. Anywho,
you didn't do it the New York way. Get out of here, pal.
No, I'm a nice New Yorker until you piss me off. Then watch out. But anyways, okay, moving forward. So fine. So I'm going to bring up the next one since those two were, for some reason, somehow I got them on there. I didn't realize the start date.
Continued in part 2.